Welcome to Dandysoap DIY. We can make some beautiful Halloween crafts using Dollar Tree, and these are clever, cute, easy to make. And using the burlap bags from Dollar Tree and repurposing some LED lights of purple and orange, we're going to turn these bags into these little jack-o'-lanterns. And I am repurposing lights that were for autumn, and you can simply slip off those covers and use the light. Grab you some shredded paper, and you're going to stuff your bag with that. When you do, make sure you check your lights if they're working. Place those strategically inside the bag along with the paper shed. These are real easy to make, and they're non-spooky, adorably cute, and the jute twine that's included with the bags makes it really snap easy to tie that on a single tie and reverse one string going around the back and the other the opposite way, and then give it one little single tie. You can easily take and put something extra tie to hold the wire, but once you place these, they look really cute sitting around, and they're just adorable. The purple lights really enhance it along with the orange ones that I have repurposed, and I also grabbed my ones from St. Patty's Day, and with the orange, purple, and white, the St. Patty's Day, they're like a glowing green. And once again, just slipping off those plastic pieces and placing them in the bag. The good thing is you can disassemble this later if you like. And here they are. So cute.
Welcome to Dandysoap DIY. I'm Elizabeth. Now we're learning 2 techniques to add to your knowledge on using Mod Podge in this particular video. One of them, I'm showing you how you can make your own inkjet transfer and fuse it to felt or to fabric. The second technique that we're learning about is if you've already applied your Mod Podge, say to paper and or your wood board, then you get these bubbles and ripples in it and it didn't fuse really good. You can use a small iron, heat it up, it will melt the Mod Podge and get you a better adhesion and fusion to your project. Be aware it's heat sensitive, so we don't want to use this on plastic. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you know I welcome you to do that. That would be wonderful. And be sure to help me out in the comment box when you've solved a problem or you see someone is addressing a problem that you know how to solve. Make comments and suggestions. Put it in the comment box. Reply to them. I really appreciate the help. And always like the video. When you like the video, it helps YouTube know that you enjoyed it and that you enjoy videos of the sort, and they will give you a better selection. Not only that, people who like things like you will get suggested this video as well. So we have got to get back to crafting. See you in there. Bye.
For another Halloween craft that's a DIY from Dollar Tree that's quick and clever, we're going to use these witch hat picks, and they're real easy to disassemble. Take off the felt that's around the bottom and the chenille as well that's wrapped around it, and you'll find this little plastic cone. You want to also make sure that once you do that, remove any glue that's inside. Now with this plastic cone, and save those chenille stems for another DIY, cut you a 4" by 4" felt square and craft paper. Put craft paper around the plastic piece to enhance the size. This will make our witch hat larger and make it look better and improve it. So you'll see as we go along. Once you've gotten your craft paper wrapped around it and glued into place, and you can use your hot melt to do this, you want to trim off any difference. Now, I love the SureBonder glue gun, and this one has a micro tip, so I recommend it. You'll find an affiliate link to it in the description box. So now we're ready to also place the felt on. And when you do your felt, make sure you bring it down slightly before you begin wrapping it. Even though we've cut a 4x4 square, we want it to fit, and we want it to look really smooth and nice and get that great point at the top of a witch hat. And we'll trim off the difference of this and make it look really, really smooth. So I've got some cardboard here, and I need to make my rim larger. So this is about a 3.5" to 4" cardboard piece. You'll need 2 pieces, and of your felt, you want to cut 2 rounds that size as well. Once you glue your cardboard onto the felt, it'll be a lot easier to trim it down. So just do your hot glue on both sides of it And then once that's in place, you can really, truly, quickly get the hole cut out of the center before you glue the other side down. And a glue stick works well too. So if you prefer this method versus the hot glue, by all means, I recommend it as well. Once it's in place, you can trim that off. So this is how we're going to create our label. And you'll find a link to this in the description box down below. You can resize it. These are simply paper. And using a little bit of the craft glue from Dollar Tree, you can easily glue that onto your hat. When you place it on the hat, make sure you smooth it all the way to the back, and most likely you will have to cross it over slightly, which is perfect. Once again, you'll find a link to this free printable in the description box down below. So now we can just go ahead and glue that down to our felt rounds because we have our cardboard in place. This makes our witch hat look larger and really smooth. Now it's time to add some details. I have these sterile pads that are gauze, and they're dusty and dirty, and I had cleaned them out. So I'm going to be reusing those to give our witch hat a true classic look. And I chose some burlap ribbon and removed the wire out of both sides. The reason being is the hat is really small, and we need to wad this up and get that stiffness out of it, and it looks a little more worn looking. And you'll also find that by folding it over, it's going to fit better. So trim off any of the sides. Therefore, you don't even have to remove the wire. Smooth it out on the sides, and that way you'll have that tattered look. Bring it around your hat and glue it into place. Keep it down at the lower edge because we're going to be adding the gauze to this the very same way. So just take the gauze, pull it, and bring it around and put it just above your ribbon so it looks better. And these are so adorably cute, and how clever a DIY using Dollar Tree felt and Dollar Tree hat picks. Fray your gauze out just a little bit by pulling the edges, and they'll take away the sewn edge if you happen to be using sterile pad gauze. Otherwise, you can use cheesecloth of the sort. That's exactly what it is. Create you some berry picks by taking the berry vine from Dollar Tree and cut them to the size and wrap them around each other. And create them however long or as short and however full as you prefer. Glue your berry picks to the side of the hat. And I always kind of bring the cheesecloth or gauze back around to the side to cover up the end of it. By the time you accentuate this by adding a star to the front of it, which makes it look very witchy, and that is just so cute, and then add a bell and they jingle, and this is really, really the neatest thing. I have a small copper star that I glued to another one. Grab your ground cinnamon, place some on your hand, and rub it about the brim and about the hat, including the gauze. This not only makes it smell good, but it gives it that look of grunginess as though it is on a wore-out witch hat. Isn't it adorable? These are just so cute, and what a quick, clever DIY. Dollar Tree has these larger witch hats. I have been holding on to this for quite some time, and we're also going to use felt and fabric. I used the black fabric fat quarter from Dollar Tree and cut out 2 rounds. We're going to be going about this in a reverse way. So I have a lid here that's the same diameter as the inner part of the hat. Cut your round circle out and just check it for sizing. Now we can remove the tinsel from the witch hat. And this just takes a moment to unwrap it. You can clip it off, but it makes so much a mess, I'd just rather unwrap it. Once you have it undone, you will end up with the plastic frame. Take your needle nose pliers, and there are little catches about the middle, and snip those off. Take a pair of scissors and go around the outer rim and remove those nibs. They will be in your way, and we need our brim to be smooth so we can attach our cardboard and our fabrics. So now that we have our fabrics cut to fit our hat, let's build out the hat. We need to make the sides of it a little more smoother. So once you've elected your fabric and kind of do the way I do, this is what I call easy measure math. I wrap it around it, see what size I need, and then I cut that. Grab some craft paper and wrap the top area only of your witch hat. This not necessarily to do the bottom brim because we've already taken care of that. Now we've got our form made to cover, and now we can cover it with fabric. Once we've glued our fabric onto the craft paper, it looks real nice. So let's go back and get our transfer. This is how you do an inkjet transfer. Either use freezer paper with the plastic coating, or you can use a label sheet and the glossy side where the labels originally were. Once they're removed, place Mod Podge and make sure that you let it dry in between each coat. You'll need a total of 3 coats of Mod Podge. Using the link for the free printable, you can really easily size this to whatever you need to fit your particular hat. Now, once you've gotten all of your Mod Podge into place and you've let it dry in between each layer for a total of 3 layers, place it into your inkjet printer. Elect your free printable and print it out onto your sheet, simply running it through the inkjet printer in the paper feeder. You'll gently peel that off. Now, you will need your mini press or your regular clothing iron, but the great thing is once you remove this printed off decal, it is completely heat transferable, and I just trim it out, and that only takes a moment. Once you do, grab you a piece of felt fabric, and you will take and place a piece of wax paper over it. Heat press it only takes a matter of seconds, and fusing that to your felt. Voila! We now have our inkjet printer heat transferred label onto our fabric, and now we can place that onto our hat. As you see here, I am also using felt to give me a smoother surface around my brim. And when I glue this bottom to it, that is also going to adhere the piece that I laid on top. This just gives me a smoother working surface, and it's a whole lot easier than using craft paper. Now I'm cutting out my fabric and also a piece of cardboard because I want that brim bigger. It did not even look symmetrically correct until I did this. Once I do, it really truly enhances the beauty and makes this real high-end witch hat. It is absolutely gorgeous. Once you glue your cardboard into place, use Mod Podge to adhere the fabric. There are reasons I am showing you this particular hat and this method. When you use Mod Podge on fabric, it makes it very firm and stiff. It also enhances the fact that that brim is ever coming off. So I took a can and I placed it upside down so that I could get my bottom part Mod Podged into place, and that gives you a flatter surface to work with. Once those are adhered to each other, you now can glue your cap cone onto the top of the hat and place it. Now you want to take Mod Podge and put it on the fabric on the very bottom. This will make the fabric stiff, and you can also do the top of the brim again if you desire. Use a black magic marker to color in any exposed cardboard in that thickness of layers, and it just takes a moment to go around there. Once I've done that, then I use my Mod Podge and I make sure to coat it evenly, and then I press it to make sure the bottom and the top are fused together so it looks continuous. Grab your cinnamon and powder it over it, and don't be stingy. Be very generous and rub it on there to give it that true witch hat grungy look, and it smells good too. Use a brush and brush off any excess. It's not going to be a lot, but it also massages it into the fabric and makes it look really good. And this is the result. It looks so high-end. Grab your stir pad, gauze, or cheesecloth. Once again, get you some beautiful ribbon. I found this at Dollar General. Absolutely fell in love with this orange and beige check. It has a burlap look to it. And you want to also tatter this one. When you cut it in half, start pulling out some pieces and fray it, and they'll give it that rugged look that we want. So this is a wonderful Halloween craft using Dollar Tree and cute and clever. This hat sold very quickly. I didn't even get to enjoy it. Once I got it made, it was sold. I had a friend, she saw it, she had to have it. So I truly, after holding on to this hat form for 2 years to do this particular DIY, I did part with it. So I will be keeping my eye open for another one at Dollar Tree. Bring your gauze around it and glue it. Now, one piece was not long enough, so I will cut a piece and add a tail to it. And it's really easy to do. Once again, pulling it and fraying it out and giving it that grungy, rugged look that I'm going for, that tattered look that genuinely looks like a witch hat. And once I've got that formed and pulled out, I just glue it underneath. Made me some more of the berry picks, these a little bit larger in size and more of them. Once I glue it onto the hat, I bring the gauze back over it, grabbed me some pine cones and mini pumpkins and berries, and glued those upon the brim of the hat. This truly made this witch hat look authentic and absolutely gorgeous. Add some bells, it not only enhances the look, makes it high end, gives it more class, but it truly adds to it. I covered up the edge there with a piece of jute twine, and voila, it is absolutely gorgeous. And it smells good too. Hit that thumbs up. That lets me know you really enjoyed that DIY. Vintage Halloween tag. These are going to have a wood backing, and all 12 of these you will find the free printable link in the description box down below. You will need Mod Podge, and we're going to use the slats. You can get these from Dollar Tree or Walmart, and I've cut the corners off to make them into tags. Choose you some beautiful cardstock paper, and you'll need a single sheet 12 by 12, where you can get 8 onto one sheet. Apply your Mod Podge, and we are going to be learning about the technique I promised you on when you get bubbles and ripples. Even though this is cardstock and it's really stiff, you can sometimes still get that reaction. The complementary paint to apply to the back side of the tags while they're adhered to your cardstock. This will make it much easier and move very swiftly through this craft. I selected the Java chalk paint, and I am using my X-Acto knife, and you'll find the link to this particular one that's finger held in the description box down below. Now they look really nice, so smooth them off with your sanding sponge, and that will remove any excess paper edges around the wood tag. Once again, I am Mod Podging the board to the paper after they've been painted, and use a little stick to make that hole back again. It just speeds things up. Using pinking shears, trim it to size and contour it to fit exactly what you are applying it to, and Mod Podge it to that surface. This gives it double reinforcement. They will last for years and become even more vintage. People collect these. When you get a bubble and a ripple in your paper, use your mini press iron or your clothing iron to heat the Mod Podge back up to get a firm fusion. Now it's smooth. So you can cut these out, and we're going to use a little technique here to distress these tags and make them look even more vintage. This is distress stain, and you can use a blotter or a makeup sponge. It has a blotter on it, but it's better to apply it this way. You can even accomplish this distressing method using a regular ink stamp. Go about the edges and rouge it as much as you like or as little as you like. You can even draw squiggly lines or make some kind of dashes on it with a marker. A lot of people do that technique as well. They are absolutely beautiful. Voila! I know you'll enjoy these for Halloween. Until the next DIY, this is Elizabeth, and I'll be crafting y'all. Have a very happy Halloween. Watch the next video.